Hi guys. Wow. When I made the video regarding Shiba Inu, I did not consider the amount of views that the video would get. For me, I was targeting people who are brothers and sisters in Christ, who are maybe more mature, who would know to definitely take that word back to God and pray and ask them for themselves. Although I had confirmation, I personally wanted more confirmation, and I felt like the issue was time sensitive. I still believe it is. So I would just kind of wanted to get that word out for people to take it back to God for themselves to see what he would say to them. So since that time, I have gotten more confirmation, and I do feel much more confident that yes, indeed, God is going to do something with Shiba Inu. Okay, so I also didn't consider that there are other people who maybe in different walks with God. Maybe some people are younger in their faith. Maybe some people don't believe in God yet, or maybe some people are seeking God. So there may be a different audience here that I have to address, okay? So first and foremost, I want you to know what to do when you receive a prophetic word, okay? What you want to do is you don't necessarily want to ignore the word as if it's not true. You always want to take it back to God in prayer and ask him to confirm if it's true, if it's for you, because some words may not be for you. Now, there are going to be people who are going to be blessed with a lot of wealth, but maybe this is not your particular time to be blessed with wealth, because maybe there's some ways that he has to prepare you to be able to handle wealth. Okay, so you have to know, what words are for you, what words are not for you, because timing is important too, right? Everything is not for everybody. So you don't necessarily want to ignore it. You want to ask God for yourself, is this something for me? Because what happens then is he's going to give you, if it is for you, he's going to give you instructions. He's going to give you direction. Some people may get the wealth, but they won't know what to do with it, right? And they'll lose it, or they won't quite know how to work the system because they're not hearing from God. So you really want to be close to him to know what he is saying. Okay, let me see what else. I'm going to be looking at my notes because I want to cover everything. Yeah, so that's what you do when you receive a prophetic word. Okay, what you don't want to do is assume that a person is a false prophet. All right, you just can't assume that. You have to know that you know that you know. You don't want to just ignore something because you feel like this person is a false prophet. If God has not told you that person is a false prophet, you can't just assume that. Okay, and I do want to address someone. I think his name was, let me see what his name is, because he gave a very negative comment. So he's gonna get a rebuke for that, and he's gonna get corrected. Oh, if it's a man, I don't even know if it's a man or a lady. I don't know who it is, what they are, but I believe the name is A Biblical View. A Biblical View. You may be a person that's just kind of immature in your faith. Maybe you have to mature. I'm not really sure what's going on. But I would suggest that you just don't throw your words around loosely talking about false prophets. You may know the Bible very well, but you have to know how to apply the Bible. And you have to have a relationship with God where you're praying to him and you're asking him before you just throw these loose terms around. Because certainly you do not want to discourage anyone from hearing what God has to say. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that correction, A Biblical View. Okay, so I'm addressing some questions. I may not address all. Thank you so much for the people who are so positive in their comments and encouraging. I really appreciate that. I didn't expect to get comments. I didn't even know what to expect. I'm new to this Facebook ministry. I started a YouTube ministry. I started a Facebook ministry maybe in July. So I'm kind of new to social media ministry, in general. Okay. So I'm looking at my notes, guys, because I want to cover the main points. Someone was asking about the visions I received. Okay, so the first visions I received regarding this Shiba Inu was on August 25th. And in the first vision, okay, I think I mentioned in my last video, I am a business owner. So there's a bank that I kind of frequent, And there's a particular banker that I had just been speaking to very recently, and I knew his name, and I had a vision of him, but in the vision, his name was similar, but was different. The name in the vision was Zayden, and in this vision, it's the banker standing there, and all of a sudden, his teeth start growing out like this, out of his mouth, like really huge. And immediately following that vision, I had a vision with another man with a dog on his shoulder. So initially, I didn't think that was a necessarily good thing, the way the man's teeth were growing out. It looked very scary, actually. But I looked up the name Zayden, and in Arabic, it means increase or growth. So because he's a banker, and this is like increase or growth, I'm saying, okay, there's going to probably be some increase or growth at the bank. And then here you have a picture of the dog, which represents the Shiba Inu. So that was the first vision that I had, and I was like, it was a strong vision, but I personally needed more. I wanted some more something from God, right? And then I had also mentioned to you that in the description box that prior to receiving the prophecy from someone else or hearing it for the first time, I had been reading personally about the Queen of Sheba in 1 Kings. So I'm actually going to take a moment to read 1 Kings chapter 10, and we're going to read verses 1 to 13. Okay, and excuse me if this light, I'm not the best at this. I'm telling you, I'm kind of new to social media, so I'm not the best at lighting and stuff. I'm seeing like a bright light. Okay, bear with me, guys, okay? Okay, so 1 Kings chapter 10, starting at verse 1. Now when the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. She came to Jerusalem with a very great retinue, with camels bearing spices and very much gold and precious stones. And when she came to Solomon, she told him all that was on her mind. And Solomon answered all her questions. There was nothing hidden from the king that he could not explain to her. And when the Queen of Sheba had seen all the wisdom of Solomon, the house that he had built, the food of his table, the seating of his officials, and the attendance of his servants, their clothing, his cupbearers, and his burnt offerings that he had offered at the house of the Lord, there was no more breath in her. And she said to the king, the report was true that I heard in my own land of your words and of your wisdom. But I did not believe the reports until I came and my own eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity surpassed the report that I had heard. Happy are your men, happy are your servants who continually stand before you and hear your wisdom. Blessed be the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and set you on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. He has made you king, that you may execute justice and righteousness. Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold and a very great quantity of spices and precious stones. Never again such an abundance of spices as these that the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Moreover, the fleet of Hiram, which brought gold from Ophir, brought from Ophir a very great amount of almug wood and precious stones. And the king made of the almug wood supports for the house of the Lord and for the king's house, also lyres and harps for the singers. No such almug wood was come or been seen to this day. And King Solomon gave to the Queen of Sheba all that she desired, whatever she asked, besides what was given her by the bounty of King Solomon. So she turned and went back to her own land with her servants. Now, I feel like I read that really quickly because it was a little long, but I suggest that you just go back and read that, just kind of meditate on that word. Because guess what? Part of the confirmation was, I just heard this, a preacher just on Sunday talk about the Queen of Sheba again. Okay, so I feel like that is part of the confirmation because God is bringing the Queen of Sheba back to me. Okay, let's see. What else do I have to say? Someone else asked a question about the Ledger Nano X. So when I made the video, I had placed an order and it was, on its way. I did receive it. I opened up the box and I do have to go in to kind of set it up. I have not done that yet. Okay, so I also want to tell you guys that I am not no tech person. I am not a crypto person. All of this is very new to me. So I may not be the best person to ask these questions to. Okay, but I did want to address some of the questions, and thank you so much for your support. And, God, he started this ministry. I do not know where he's leading with this. I'm just going to be obedient and come on when he tells me to come on and give you whatever he has to give me. I don't know what the next video will be. But, thank you for watching, certainly. And especially thank you for the kind comments and the support that you're giving each other. Okay, thank you. God bless you guys.